In the early centuries of the Christian community, when the vast majority of people could neither read nor write, and the church had custody of the calendar, the custom was to announce the coming date of Easter on the feast of the Epiphany. We, who have all sorts of calendars, have no need of this custom, but it does remind us that for catechumens and for us, this is the supremely important date and the event on which everything else depends. Can it be that we are approaching it already? Wasn't it just Christmas? And everything in our personal and civic lives that has happened since then. Is it possible that tomorrow is Ash Wednesday? Like Triduum and Pentecost and Christmas just passed, this COVID Ash Wednesday will be different, and hopefully a one-time only event. One thing, however, is the same. The question that Jesus asks that concludes today's gospel passage. Do you still not understand? At this point in Mark's gospel, Jesus has healed and fed countless people in the presence of these very same dim-witted disciples. Mark is, of course, famous for his portrayal of the disciples as very, very slow, as well as for the mysterious messianic secret. Yet after one more healing comes Peter's confession, made to Jesus in the company of the disciples, considered by many to be the central high point of this gospel. You are the Messiah. But immediately after Jesus began to teach them about how he had to suffer, Peter took him aside and tried to rebuke him. Jesus' strong language in response, "Get behind me, Satan," surely indicates how disappointed he must have been. Do you still not understand? What is he asking us to understand? And if and when we figure that out, what is he asking us to do about it? Everyone who reads or hears this is unique, is uniquely and totally loved by God, has a unique story, a unique journey. And so it follows that at this point in our lives, there is something unique to each of us that we still do not understand. The human questions. Is it a cosmology question? What is the origin and nature of the universe? Is it a theodicy question? Why is there innocent suffering if God is all good and loving? Where was God in Auschwitz? Perhaps it is the simple question of a child. Mommy, why do people hate each other? Or the question of grown-ups. Will I emerge from these COVID times the same or a better person? Will I have learned to love better? Indeed, what is the meaning of my life? Or perhaps it is this basic question: who is Jesus, and why ought I to follow him? For some of these questions there are answers. For some, there is the forever human struggle. We will each find our own question embedded in our own story. Lent will be a good time to look back and to look around, to ask for the grace to be brave enough to articulate and to reflect on our question, to confront it and to allow it to challenge us. Our time and our lives are shaped by the pandemic. Will my question and yours also be shaped by COVID? How can it not be? How will we love now? Just as Lent is a time of intense preparation for catechumens, so can it be for us. We are privileged to journey with them. After all, Lent was theirs first, and our Lenten journey of conversion is modeled on theirs. So ask yourself, what is it that I still don't understand? That I still don't understand about loving? That you want me to understand this COVID Lent? Help me, Lord, to find the question deep inside me that wants to be answered, so that in the words of St. Ignatius, I can know you more fully, love you more deeply, and follow you more closely.